Alright, back at it. Actually, total loss for words right now, but not really. I know what I want to say. It's just so hard to kind of pour it out of your heart and out of your mouth at the same time, especially when you're driving. But this is kind of quiet time for me, so it's the best time to do it. The changes that God has brought about in me on the inside, outwardly, I mean, people are going to look and see the same person, but there's a song, and it's called, I can't remember the name of it. I'm horrible with names, so bear with me. But it's basically let them see you and me. And it's speaking of God and Jesus. They want, they're trying to say in the song that that's how you show people. It's your actions, your deeds, what you do, your integrity, everything you do on a daily basis. You want people to see that change. Even though they're going to doubt it, they're going to say things about you at first. They're going to become overly judgmental. I mean, I work with a whole host of different people. Got some atheists, I've got some Christians. It's just a whole different host of people, and it's actually a small little mom and pop that I work for. But there's just a whole host of different personalities in that building, and it's just amazing to watch people through the eyes that I have now. I watched an atheist humble himself in this last week because of a financial situation. That might not mean much, may not mean anything going forward, but when you see that in a person, you got to kind of nurture it, because humility is one of the most important things in our lives as a Christian. Not to take the credit, to give the glory to God, because when you give the glory to God, you're only setting yourself up for a little bit more of a beautiful, wonderful season. Like last night, I did really well with what I was doing. Made a good amount of money. Instead of being like, oh, I worked hard. Yeah, I did. Of course I did. But on top of all that, I was actually really sick. And we had somebody with a family issue that had to call out. And I had to stay a little bit later. I normally work a 12-hour day on Thursdays. 12-hour day turned into a 13-and-a-half-hour day, on top of being tired and sick. And glory to God, I got through the day, because without prayer and Him nudging me along, there is just no way I could have done that on my own. I've been that sick before, and I remember what it did to me. I was pretty much on my tail in bed all day, and now I am on my butt sitting here in a car, and I got stuff to do today. And even though I'm kind of sick, I still feel wonderful. And this is like bronchitis or something, so I think that's pretty awesome and amazing. That usually puts me on my butt in bed. Sorry, I'm getting a dry throat, but I don't know, I just want to kind of bring some basic information to people. And I figure I'll start here, driving along, and as it comes to me, I'll say it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do one of these live on Facebook one day. I don't know, I want people to see what God has for us. I mean, I was listening, the reason I brought up Stephen Furtick earlier was I was listening to something my wife sent me yesterday of his, and it was talking about how we are all anointed. Not necessarily to be kings, not necessarily to be doctors, not necessarily to be anything more than a retail associate on a sales floor, but you have to realize, as a retail associate on a sales floor, You have access to people all day long, to be able to influence those people, to be able to influence their purchasing decisions, but also, say you're wearing something simple like that, you may strike up a conversation. If somebody sees you're really nice and helping them out, and you're able to plant seeds that way. And that's what God has put us here for, to plant seeds in others. If you're a Christian and you're not talking to people and you're not influencing them with your actions and your deeds through Jesus, then you're not really being obedient. You have to pray, listen to what God tells you. He won't lead you astray. Sometimes He's going to throw you in the face of persecution so you can remain humble, because you may be getting cocky. It's not hard to do. You just start feeling so much better, and like the air of your persona is different, and you get so cocky because you're like, oh man, I feel great, I feel wonderful, it's I, and you forget to give the glory to God. I know I've done it a couple times in the last couple months since this has all started, and it's so funny how every time that happens, He brings me to a point of getting humbled, and then I'm back on track. So, a good prayer. Pray for some humility. Anyway, I'm in another stop. I'm gonna stop this again. Thank you for listening so far. I'll be back.